One Zambia, One Nation, compliments of the season. This is Zanis News with me, Amos Zulu. Let us take a look at the headlines. Germany empowers 44 agro-cooperatives in Eastern Province. Muchinga receives 14,000 food security packs. DEC touches 6.7 metric tons of cannabis in Luapula. Plus, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit aids Nalolo fire victims. And now the news in detail. The Germany Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, has given agricultural equipment to 44 cooperatives in Eastern Province worth about 3.5 million kwacha under the Green Innovation Project Center. Sylvester Chisimba reports that the empowerment is targeted at improving production among farmers as well as creating job opportunities.
About 44 cooperatives in Eastern Province have been empowered with equipment worth 3.5 million kwacha under the Green Innovation Centers project by German Agency for International Cooperation. The cooperatives have been empowered with agro-equipment such as treadle pumps and plows, and GIZ is pleased to be part of the support.
Under the project, we were privileged to receive funds from the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development to support us curb the negative impacts on the agricultural sector. So with these special funds that we received as GIZ, the Green Innovation Centers project, we were able to procure some agricultural equipment after identifying their need to sustainably increase productivity and income and create employment opportunities. And so our work covers closely working with the Ministry of Agriculture, the Community Markets for Conservation, COMACO, who we have a grant agreement with and have been working together since 2015.
The Ministry of Agriculture in Eastern Province is convinced this support will impact positively on agriculture performance.
Of the Republic of Zambia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has been working with GIZ in Eastern Province since 2015 under one of the flagship projects in the agriculture sector, the Green Innovation Centers for the Agriculture Sector and the Agriculture Finance Project, two projects that are represented here today.
And the beneficiaries are happy with this gesture by GIZ in partnership with Community Markets for Conservation.
Yamikira kwambiri chifukwa cha thandizo yamene vatithandiza nayo va GIZ pamene vachita move out from Eastern Province. Ise tinali na vuto monga mu cooperative yangu ndise ma farmers amene tili value chain ya soybeans na shaba. So oil expeller tantauza kuti ise ngati balimi mukuchoni wa cooperative mu chiefdom ya mshaba ulimi watu uzapita pasogolo ndipo uzakhala wapindu.
Treadle pump ni njira imozi mazi akavuta ni njira imene imatithandiza kuthirira mbewu zimene zikozochita bwino kwambiri. Njinga zimene matipasa kaulendo kanali kakatali kamafupika chifukwa cha njinga umathamangapo msanga.
Sylvester Chisimba for Zanis, Chipata District, Eastern Province.
And in a related development, the Zambia Agribusiness and Trade Project, ZATP, has challenged small and medium enterprises, SMEs, to increase production in order to strengthen the country's economy. ZATP Senior Agribusiness Specialist Wilfred Mufambi says SMEs in agriculture have the potential to positively impact the economic growth of the country. Devson Sakala now reports.
Small and medium enterprises, SMEs, contribute 70% to the gross domestic product of the country, with those in the agricultural sector only contributing 2.7% despite being the largest SME sector. In that respect, ZATP Senior Agribusiness Specialist Wilfred Mufambi has called for the increased production among its SMEs in the agricultural sector.
Agriculture currently is around 2.7%, 3% of the GDP, for example. That's very little. If we can get that number increased to 10, 15%, then we'll see more jobs, we'll see more value for the farmers, we'll see more fluid in terms of the agriculture sector across the country. So we need to focus on dealing with issues around quality processing systems in place, increasing capacity of SMEs in terms of how much tonnage they can actually process in a day, how much tonnage they can actually process in a month, so that then we are increasing the demand for raw materials within the country. So that way then we can create an industry that is self-sustaining, that is building from the bottom line.
And one of the beneficiaries of the $40 million World Bank sponsored project has thanked ZATEP for the support.
What the project has done is tremendous. There's a number of dimensions that we benefited from this project. Number one, there's an increase on the number of beneficiaries amongst the small-scale farmers, because now they are assured of an outright market. And two, also, that the deluxe operations in the hotel sector also benefited in the sense that they don't have to depend on things coming from South Africa and so on. Everything is being produced fresh. Employment for the local people, it is very exceptional. As you can see, if you go in the streets of Livingston, you find those boys with what they call food money. They get their produce, most of it, from here.
Davison Sakala, reporting for Zanis in Livingston.
In other news, government says it remains resolute to address the continued disruptions in the supply of essential drugs in health institutions across the country. Speaking at the Zambia Medical Association ZMA Annual Ball and Awards Gala Dinner in Lusaka, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo says government has increased budgetary allocation to the health sector in order to promote quality health care delivery. Ms. Masebo was represented at the ZMA Awards by Minister of Technology and Science, Felix Mutati. Sunday Bwalia reports that Zanis won the Best Electronic Media Award for disseminating health issues.
Minister of Health, Sylvia Masebo, has reiterated government's resolve to address the disruptions in the supply chain of drugs to health institutions in the country. Ms. Masebo said this in a speech read for her by Technology and Science Minister Felix Mutati at the Zambia Medical Association Annual Ball and Awards Gala Dinner in Lusaka last night.
Doing to deliver appropriate and adequate health to our people. You are doing a grand job under very difficult circumstances. We really appreciate you. We also appreciate the partners that have brought pharmaceuticals and all these people that are dealing with the issues to make sure that service delivery is done on time. But appreciate that it takes time to change a system. It takes time to perfect a system.
And Zambia Medical Association President Crispin Moyo praised government for the recruitment of over 11,000 health workers in order to enhance health service delivery in the country.
The unprecedented recruitment which happened in the during this fiscal year, where we recruited about 11,500 healthcare workers. 500 of those were doctors. This was a very big addition to the stock of health workers that we have in the country. We've received a lot of support from the Minister of Health, including the support for our doctors working in the public institutions, participating in this gala and at our other occasions. Thank you very much, PS, for always being there to support us. Areas that are owed to our staff, some of them are not overdue. The government, we have seen, is dismantling debts that are owed to suppliers and vendors, which is very encouraging. But we would also like to see that the debt that is owed to individuals is also tackled.
In a vote of thanks, a seasoned medical doctor George Sinyangwe called for humility among health professionals.
We as doctors must make the delivery of our services more friendly than making it difficult for our patients to access what we are doing for them. One of the greatest barriers in the practice of medicine is ourselves. Let's humble ourselves, make what we do easier for the people that we actually serve.
Meanwhile, the Zambia Medical Association has awarded its partners for outstanding performance during the year. The Zambia News and Information Services Zanis television channel won the Best TV in the electronic media category for its positive coverage on health-related issues. For Zanis in Lusaka, I am Sunday Walia.
Thank you, Sunday, for that report. The Department of Community Development in Muchinga Province has received over 14,000 inputs under the Food Security Park FSP program for the 2022-2023 farming season. Provincial Acting Senior Community Development Officer Kenneth Mwatalasha says the inputs will be distributed to 277 community welfare assistant committees across the province. Here's a report.
Distribution of farming inputs under the Food Security Parks program, which is being implemented by the Department of Community Development in Muchinga Province, is progressing well. This follows the successful arrival of the 2022-2023 farming season input allocated to the province, amounting to 14,715. Muchinga Province Acting Senior Community Development Officer Kenneth Mwatalasha confirmed the development.
In terms of the inputs that we have received, like for urea, we are almost there. We have received about 11,334 by 50 kg bags of fertilizer, and we have a balance of 3,417. In terms of the maize seed, we have received everything. For the legumes, we have a balance of 1,059. What we have received so far is 13,656. Yeah, so the program is going on well. In this season we are targeting 277 seaworks in all the districts.
And Chinsali District Community Development Officer Tom Mungala says the distribution exercise of the FSP inputs is running smoothly.
We are targeting 2,124 beneficiaries, of which each beneficiary is supposed to receive a packet, 50 kg urea and 2 by 50 kg D compound, maize seed, a packet of bean seed.
The beneficiaries of the program in Chinsali District are elated with the gesture.
This program has been tailored in such a way that it is inclusive for persons with disabilities, meaning that it has reasonably accommodated persons with disabilities year in and year out. And so we are grateful.
Miriam Kumwenda reporting for Zanis in Chinsali, Muchinga Province.
And one of the stories making headlines in our news, the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, in Luapula Province has destroyed 6.7 metric tons of cannabis confiscated from drug offenders. The burning of the cannabis was witnessed by officers from the courts, local authority, and Provincial Joint Operation Committee. Take a look.
The Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act No. 35 of 2021, Section 84, provides for the disposal and destruction of the seized substances. Section 84, number 2 of the Act also states that drugs or precursor chemicals that are usable in the pharmaceutical industry or another industry, depending on the nature of the substance, may be disposed of by supplying to a public or private body authorized to utilize or export them. In Luapula Province, the Drug Enforcement Commission managed to make 381 arrests from 2020 to 2022, and all the confiscated substances have since been banned. The banned substances include over 4,000 grams of cannabis seed and 6 million grams of cannabis plants. Last year, the country enacted the Cannabis Act, which provides for the licensing of those who want to be cultivating cannabis, but this act is not yet operational. Kenneth Chomba reporting for the Zanis News in Mansa District.
Government heads of department in Pemba District have been challenged to adopt and integrate risk management into their departmental operations and put in place mitigation measures for potential risks before they happen. Ministry of Finance and National Planning Assistant Director for Risk Management, Miselo Chita, says it is an obligation that each public body assumes responsibility of managing risks in a manner that supports the setting and achievement of its mandate and objectives. Here's a report.
Risks can emerge at any given time during the implementation of a project or program. Unmanaged risks can easily prevent a project from achieving its objectives or even cause it to fail to succeed. Government programs have not been spared from potential risks. That is why, through the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, government has launched risk management guidelines that should be integrated into all its programs to ensure efficiency and effective delivery of services to the people. The Ministry of Finance is in Pemba District to sensitize heads of government departments on the newly launched risk management guidelines.
We are in Pemba District to just sensitize heads of departments in the district on the importance of integrating risk management in all government processes and business. The idea is simply to let people realize that the government has implemented risk management as a tool to assist in efficiency and effectiveness in planning, monitoring, and also reporting on all government activities.
As we put up our plans, be it CDF, name them, we need to integrate risk management. So the law that whether you are Minister of Finance, Minister of Education, Health, you are now supposed to have systems for managing risks within your day-to-day work.
The district administration in Pemba is ready to integrate risk management in all its operations.
Training has come at the right time because it will equip us as officers in the district who are key in the implementation of CDF when it comes to appraisals in the different departments. I think the communities are applying for projects that are directly affecting the sectors that are in the district. And I think this training will help us also as we do the appraisals of these projects, we'll also be able to do the risk management aspect of those projects, especially those that have to do with issues to do with climate change and environmental issues.
As a district, we would like to embrace risk management in our operations. It's very important, just like you have highlighted. Therefore, we shall be looking forward for anything to do with risk management to be implemented.
Chintu Nangamba, reporting for Zanis News in Pemba District, Southern Province.
Still in Southern Province, World Vision Zambia has handed over riders' safety kits worth over 130,000 kwacha to its community development workers in order to safeguard them as they carry out their duties. World Vision Zambia acting manager Crispin Siamupa says the organization values the safety of its staff as they reach out to about 11,000 vulnerable children of Moyo and Hamaundu areas of the district.
The safety of every employee is key to an organization. This is the reason World Vision Zambia today has handed over riders' safety kits worth over 130,000 kwacha for its community development workers.
As World Vision, we actually value the staff that we work with. So in this case, having thought that our field staff are our major riders and the major players in ensuring that we reach out to the most vulnerable child out there, we thought we should be able to also provide them that incentive, which is a rider's kit, that will be able to protect them from any injuries as they ride in the field.
We have deliberately tailored a safety training program, which we call Drive for Zero and Ride for Zero Accidents. And this program, I think a lot of staff have done it. and others are due for refresher course. And we're just doing a review of how many really have to come and do it again.
Both Zambia Police and Road Transport and Safety Agency, LATSA, were on hand to receive the riders' kits.
Those that will be availed with this facility, for you have already the licenses. I know you still remember what you went through for you to acquire those licenses, meaning you are fully equipped with information that is required of you in order for you to be safe on the road.
Let us not be part of those statistics, numbers of accidents. I'm sure those that have been following, those numbers are not pleasing. Why? Because we have departed from the so-called road safety regulations.
World Vision Zambia is currently reaching out to about 11,000 vulnerable children in Moyo and Hamaundu of Pemba district. And these safety kits will make work easier for these field staffs. Costa Kimdenda, Zanis, in Choma district, Southern Province.
In Western Province, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has delivered 160 by 25 kilogram bags of mealie meal and other items to the people of Nawinda in Okolo ward of Nalolo Plains, whose houses and property were gutted on October 10 this year. Sifuwe Mwangala reports that Nalolo District Commissioner Namata Mamupo and other civic leaders handed over the items to the victims.
The people of Nawinda village in Nalolo Plains gladly draw water because they are assured of their next meal. These are part of the 26 households whose houses and property were destroyed in an inferno on 10th October 2022. Since the sad incident occurred, government through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit has been in touch with the families by offering assorted aid. Today, the fire victims have received 159 by 25 kilograms bags of mealie meal, a kitchen set comprising a set of 5 pots and 5 cups, among others. Nalolo District Commissioner Namatama Mupo, who was accompanied by Nalolo Town Council Chairperson Limakazo Kolyokolyo and Ukolo Ward Councillor Liswaniso Moto, delivered the items.
Government again, through our President, His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, has again assisted the Nawinda people with 159 by 25 kg bags of mealie meal, which will feed them, their families, for 3 months. Since it has started raining, very soon the place will be flooded.
Meanwhile, Ukolo Ward Councillor Liswaniso Moto thanked government for the continued support rendered to the people of Nawinda.
So I'm very happy the quickest response which I've received from the government. How I wish the government could continue helping in terms of bringing iron sheets and so on. As for now, I think they're almost settled.
The fire victims could not hide their joy. Sifuwe Mwangala, reporting from Nawinda village in Nalolo District, Western Province.
The National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, has donated assorted items worth 7,000 kwacha to Jabulan Children's Village in Ndola. NAPSA Ndola area manager Sylvester Piri says the move is aimed at cushioning the challenges that the orphanage is facing.
And my experience here, when I came here, I was just a little child. I was 10 years by then, and my experience here has been a wonderful experience and a great journey to be here. I found a home here, and I found parents that I lacked when I was away from this place.
It has been wonderful for me to be at this place because when I lost my parents, I never had where to go. I never knew I can be educated like this. I never knew that God can save me in this way.
Jabulani Children's Village in Ndola has been a home set up to ensure that these children are provided with shelter, medical care, education, and survival skills. Established in 1998, the facility, like any other home-based care center, has a lot of challenges that need to be addressed.
As an organization, we are faced with a lot of challenges in meeting the needs of children such as transportation of children to school. Since all the children that we have in this center, they go to various schools in town. School requirements, beddings, clothes, and foodstuffs, just to mention but a few.
Today, the National Pension Schemes Authority, NAPSA, in Ndola has donated a number of items to help cushion some of the challenges being faced by the village.
In the office, identified Jaulani Children's Village as the recipient of our support. We are providing support in form of the foodstuffs here to the tune of 7,000 kwacha.
For the children, the donation comes as an early Christmas gift. Nelly Bota reporting for Zanis in Ndola.
Now, Zambia Army Commander Sitali Alibuzwi has called on youths who applied for jobs in the Zambia Army to ignore the circulating list of those purported to have been selected. Lieutenant General Alibuzwi says the circulating list is fake. He says the Zambia Army is still doing the selection of successful candidates and that there are many things to be considered in the selection process apart from the applicants' academic qualifications. He cautioned the applicants not to be swindled of any money as the recruitment process is free. The Zambia Army Commander was speaking when he paid a courtesy call on Central Province Permanent Secretary Myuna Mwanakampwe at his office. Lieutenant General Alibuzwi is in Central Province to monitor the water situation in the barracks as the water recirculation system has outlived its usefulness since it was installed in 1947. And Central Province Permanent Secretary Myuna Mwanakampwe said Zambia is enjoying peace because of the commitment of the men and women in uniform.
Big news on a shortlisted recruitment. I want to mention that we are an organized system that follows procedures. I just want to urge the public, especially our youths. I know there is anxiety to have the list released. What I can say is that when we are done at an appropriate time, we are going to release the official list for those to be called, to be tested, to undergo various procedures before we finally pick the final list. So the lists that you are seeing being circulated are all fake. And those of you requested to pay amounts of money, please don't do that, because you will just lose your money. And they took the initiative of attending to the critical shortage of water in barracks by sinking boreholes. But luckily, the Ministry of Finance and National Planning availed us some reasonable amounts of funds to attend to this and the main other challenges. But the focus at the moment is on water challenges in barracks. The barracks are quite old. Way back 1947, thereabout. The system cannot sustain the requirement, including the reticulation system in barracks is outdated, and therefore requires to be attended to.
The importance of having sufficient water facilities in military cantonments. We cannot manage, and the head of state has committed himself, we cannot manage almost 60 years after independence to have our men and women in uniform. Very valiant men and women, very sacrosanct men and women in uniform, to still be queuing up for water. I think as provincial administration, to just buttress and also make it easier for yourselves, we want to commit ourselves. A lot of local authorities have drilling rigs, even ourselves here, provincial administration. So there are times when you may want to use the local authorities, you might want to use our colleagues from water affairs. I think they are colleagues that are able to do a fantastic job.
Meanwhile, Zambia Air Force ZAF Regional Commander Frank Chanda from our Western Province has called on Air Force personnel to support government's military vision of enhancing national security. Lieutenant Kenel Chanda says ZAF personnel need to celebrate its success and reflect on their security mandate to the country. He was speaking during the first ever ZAF Provincial Air Force Defense Center annual ball in Mongo.
Zambia Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Frank Chanda has implored all officers to support the government of the day and avoid engaging themselves in negative talks. Lieutenant Colonel Chanda said this during the Zambia Air Force Western Provincial Defense Center annual ball held at Country Lodge in Mongo district of Western Province.
As provincial defense centers, we have contributed greatly to safeguarding the country and ensuring that our borders are safe. As we look towards the new year, I implore you all to remain resolute in the manner in which we carry out our duties. Continue to take pride in your work and in the way you carry yourselves, that you do not give up, regardless of how insurmountable the challenges may seem. Do not indulge in partisan politics. Instead, vigilantly play your role towards supporting the government of the day.
And Lieutenant Colonel Mwepuch Senga had this to say.
Western Provincial Air Defense Center was established in 2019 for the purpose of providing air defense in the western sector of the Zambian airspace.
This year's first ever Zambia Air Force annual ball in Western Province was held under the theme Achieving Excellence through well-motivated, professional and accountable Air Force personnel. Darlington Karambe reporting in Mongo District, Western Province.
And lastly, in our news, a 30-year-old man of Sepeti village in Chief Chivesakunda in Shiwangandu district in Muchinga province has been arrested for allegedly defiling his 9-year-old biological daughter. Muchinga province commanding officer Kennedy Muwanga has confirmed the arrest in a press statement made available to Zanis in Shiwangandu. Mr. Muwanga said the mother of the victim reported the matter to police, saying her daughter was defiled by her biological father whenever she was not at home. He further said on 11th December 2022, the suspect, Kennedy Chilufya, went to drink beer, and upon his return around 23 hours, he found his wife had left the house following a marital dispute. Mr. Muwanga said on the material day at an unknown time, after the parents of the victim fought, resulting in the mother leaving home, the father took the victim to the bedroom and undressed her, and in the process he was caught by his wife. Mr. Muwanga revealed that the victim was later interviewed by her mother the very night, and she narrated that her father has been having carnal knowledge of her whenever she was not present at home. Police have since issued the victim with a medical report form, and the docket has been opened, and the suspect will appear in court soon. With that item, we come to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. Germany empowers 44 agro cooperatives in Eastern Province. Muchinga receives 14,000 food security packs. The Drug Enforcement Commission torches 6.7 metric tons of cannabis in Luapula. And finally, the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit aids Nalolo fire victims. We end the news just there, but you can access these and many other stories on our website, zanis.com.zm. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Amos Zulu. Bye-bye.